Yaşlı Groot açtı kapıyı ve aynı zamanda tekrar çıktı. Harika bir sergisi oldu. Herkese merhaba, oyun kanalıma hoş geldiniz. Bugün sizlerle beraber Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy oynayacağız ve kaldığımız hikayeden devam edeceğiz. Video izlemeyince kanalıma abone olmayı ve videoyu beğenmeyi unutmayın. En son bakalım nerede kaldık. 3. bölüme doğru geçeceğiz ve continue diyelim oyunumuza. Evet, 1 ve 2. bölümü oynadık ve sizlerle beraber paylaştım oyunu. Bakalım 3. bölümde neler bekliyor bize. En son geri dönmüştük kendi galaksimize. Yani yolcu uçağındaydık aslında. Yolcu uçağındayız da uzay çağındayız aslında. Kendi uzaycı gemimizdeydik. Bakalım bizi neler bekliyor bu oyunda.
I am watching you, rodent.
What's that supposed to mean?
It is common knowledge that rodents hoard nuts, stolen technology, units.
Okay, first off, I ain't a hoarder nor a rodent.
I know you have a stash aboard this.
There ain't nothing to feck. Groot blew our stash on Contraxia,
Yeah,
and the rest I gave to Quill and Gamora for the Dash Quarantine Zone access code.
A likely story.
Why don't you go bother someone else?
Peter Quill, tell the rodent that his selfishness endangers us all.
Rocket, we could really use any extra units you have.
How do I gotta spell it out for you? I don't got no units!
Fair enough.
Believe his lies?
Oh, I ain't lying. Now why don't you leave me alone and bother someone else instead?
Bakalım neler bekliyor bizi.
Open this door. I know you are in there, sentient tree.
Evet, bizim gittiğimiz gemi burada.
Do not think that I do not know what you are up to.
Önceden gittiğimiz galaksi buradaydı. Ona çok yakınız.
Smashed his illicit units in there. I am watching you, tree.
Az önce bundan iyi kavgayı anlamadım. Şuraya için bir. Ve galaksinin olduğu yerdeyiz. Güzele benziyor. Buradan çıkalım. Burada bakalım ne
What do you want,
görebiliriz.
Quill? If you're looking for units, check your own room. So, you here to talk or you just want a gear upgrade?
Konteyner tekrardan.
You're not still upset, are you?
It'd be a lot better if we didn't have 3 cycles to pay a fine.
Hey, remember that time on Kanal with the Badoon and that really hot Ascavarian girl?
Yeah, her buddies would have spaced your stupid Hume butt if me and Groot hadn't busted in.
I had things under control, mostly.
Too bad you're broke, Quill. I should be charging you for all the times we saved you.
Name one other time you saved me.
Contraxia, Nowhere, Paramitar, Ceres, Contraxia again, Malador.
Okay, so I owe you. Big.
I should have turned you in for Yondu's bounty. Sure as Scott wouldn't be scrounging for units to pay off your Nova girlfriend.
Ex-girlfriend. But admit it, you like being a guardian of the galaxy.
Still on the fence about the brand name, but keeping the Milano as collateral was a pretty smart move.
Never agreed to that.
If you'd rather I turn you in.
Don't worry. I know you put a lot into this team. I'll make it up to you.
You better.
Az önce bir kısa bir konuşma oldu. Bakalım burada ne var.
Hey, Gamora.
You're supposed to knock.
What are you doing? You're supposed to be looking for money.
I did.
And?
I don't have any.
Also, what's with the dolls?
Do you value your life?
Is that a trick question? Okay, yes. Mostly I value my life.
Good. Then pretend like you saw nothing and get out.
See you in the lounge?
Out.
Got it.
Evet, bizi hiç çağırmadı şimdi. Bakalım burada ne varmış.
Any
Bununla
units I
konuşalım.
uncover will go directly to you, but I am unsure the others will do the same.
So, you're taking the whole find the units thing pretty seriously.
It is a serious matter.
Yeah, I totally get it. We're all afraid of going back to prison.
I am not afraid of going back to prison.
Oh, good. Because I'm not either, mostly.
In the kiln, I was surrounded by criminals, murderers, and thieves. They taught me a harsh lesson. Assassins and bounty hunters cannot be trusted.
Okay. Wow. Don't you think maybe you're calling the kettle black?
I have not mentioned kitchenware.
It's an Earth thing. What I mean is you're a convicted mass murderer. I used to be a pirate. We're not exactly upstanding citizens.
You and I honor our word. I cannot say the same for the others.
You could be wrong, Drax. You won't know until you give them a chance.
We will see.
Bakalım bu arada kapalı mı?
Groot,
Groot'a
you
bakalım.
okay in there? Think you could open the door for a minute?
Evet. Bize
Is that
kapıyı
my
açsın.
toothbrush? Great. Now I need a new toothbrush.
Evet, bir saat gülerek söyledi.
I am confused by your blind trust in the others. I will reflect on it.
Buradaymış galiba.
Groot! Are you done in there? Me and Musclehead could use some input. What do you mean a minute? You've been in there for ages.
I have noticed that the tree is very meticulous about grooming.
You don't say. He made me snip off the shoots on his back the other day. Nobody cares that they were poking out, you big dandy.
Bundan niye ses çıkmıyor şu an?
Sweet tracks.
I trust you, Peter Quill. And if you trust them, I will follow suit.
Why you gotta be so paranoid, big guy? You didn't mind trusting me on Hanshi.
Trust you repaid by attempting to rob our employer.
I told you I was just testing their security measures.
So you claim.
Ne zaman savaşacağız acaba? Ama sana bu bozulmuş
So,
galiba.
Drax, did you bring out your stash of hidden units?
I do not hide my units in a stash, for I am not rodent.
Neither am I.
You are rodent-like.
And you're annoying like.
That is not a valid taxonomic order.
Onu düzeltecek miyiz acaba?
Let me guess. You're watching me. What do you think I'm gonna do? Conjure in there?
Bakalım burada ne varmış. Bize pek işe yaramayacak. Buna bakayım bir.
Why does this thing look so sinister?
I don't go into your room and touch your stuff, Quill.
What? You hacked my visor and added a scoreboard to it while I was sleeping.
That was different. I improved it. Also, did anyone tell you that you snore? I thought Drax was bad, but wow. Quill, you should really get that checked. You sound like a Tauren.
I don't snore that loud.
Yeah, okay.
So what is this thing anyway? Kind of looks like a metal face hugger.
That is clearly a spinal control unit.
Yes, right, of course, a spinal control thingy.
Back on Half-World, Kree scientists use these to keep us super soldiers in line. They press a big, fun red button and zap! Instant obedience.
Holy crap. Rocket. How
Seçelim.
many of you super soldiers were there on Half-World?
When the Kree started, 100 maybe. By the time I escaped, just me and Lila. She was the first one not to die from the control unit.
And Lila is also a...
What? A raccoon?
or not, a raccoon?
You gotta understand. She was afraid of him, and the control unit made sure we stayed in line, that I stayed in line.
Oh, that sounds awful. I can't imagine.
So, I did what I do best. I found a way to overload the control unit. When the Blueskins let us out of our cage, kaboom! I blew a hole into the side of the lab. What we didn't know, what I didn't know, was that the lab was protected by sentry bots. We got to the security fence and Lila covered me while I hacked the modulator frequency, and as soon as it opened, she pushed me through the door. I heard her die quote.
Rocket.
Doesn't matter now. Past is the past, right? And that thing is just a reminder.
What exactly did the Kree do to you?
They ripped me apart and rebuilt me over and over and over again until I became this half-finished thing they could mold and shape and control.
Oh, Rocket, I had no idea. I mean, I knew the Kree Empire was desperate, but...
Do you know what it's like to lose all control of your body? To be in constant pain, trapped inside yourself, unable to stop the horrible things you're doing? That control unit made sure I did what I was supposed to do. Oh yeah, whether I wanted to or not. A neat, furry little machine of death. Didn't take long to figure out I was better off not fighting.
Okay. Then let's shoot this thing out the airlock. Have a little middle finger salute ceremony to the bastards who built it.
I don't think I'm ready to let go of that part of me yet. Maybe one day.
Are you 100% sure you want to keep it? What if it...
Controls me? I decided a long time ago, Quill, that I would never let anyone control me again. As far as I'm concerned, this is just another useful piece of junk and a few bad memories.
I'm sorry you had to go through all that, Rocket. For real.
Ve konuşmamız bitti şimdi.
No wonder Rocket's the way he is.
Burada bir şey var mı?
Hey, Bluebird, you copy? Gamora, I was just...
Who are you talking to? What's a bluebird?
It, was Yondu's call sign. He was Bluebird and I was the kid.
Let me get this straight. The system, an all-around scoundrel, used bluebird as his call sign?
Even had it embroidered on the back of his jacket.
Amazing.
It was amazing. Pretty much from the day we met.
How did you two meet? Terrans and Centaurians aren't exactly neighbors.
We met on Chitauri Prime, about 3 years into my sentence.
Wait, Yondu was a prisoner of war? I thought the Ravagers were neutral.
They were, and they also weren't. The Ravagers had a simple code: steal from everyone. Yondu said it made them neutral.
But they weren't. I specifically remember several Chitauri transports being hit when I was still, you know.
They hit just as many resistance ships, until a Chitauri cruiser uncloaked in front of them during a raid and...
Yondu ended up on Chitauri Prime, with you.
After we broke out, he could have left me on some space station or dropped me off at the nearest Nova Corps base, but he didn't. Instead, he invited me to join the Ravagers.
You were with them a long time. Must have enjoyed it.
I did. Being a Ravager was the first time I felt like I really belonged, if that makes any sense.
I felt the same way when I joined Richard Ryder and the Resistance. like I was finally in control of who I wanted to be.
Yes, exactly. Those first few years, it was like I had joined this really big, really dysfunctional family, which, now that I'm hearing it, would make Yondu my...
Space dad?
Could have been worse. Yondu and I were cellmates.
İkinci seç bu sefer.
First thing he said when they put him in my cell was, "Boy, don't be going and getting attached, because I'm just here for the food." And the food was pretty terrible, so...
Yeah, that sounds like Yondu.
I had cellmates before, and none of them lasted long. The Shatari have these gladiatorial games, and...
You got used to people dying.
I'm not sure about that, but I didn't expect anyone to last long. I also didn't have my translation implant back then, so I might as well have been alone. But Yondu, he actually spoke English. Said he'd offered to translate in exchange for extra rations.
So even in that snake-infested hellhole, ever the schemer.
It's something we had in common. I've been scheming for a way to escape since the day they took me. I just needed someone like Yondu to make it seem possible.
How did you escape?
Well, let's just say it was equal parts simple, complicated, and kind of embarrassing. But it ended with the two of us delivering a transport full of stolen supplies straight into the hands of the resistance.
For a bucket-load of units too, I bet.
Anyway, once we did, there was no going back. I was a Ravager. Well, if you don't mind, I think I'd like to be alone for a bit.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll see you around.
Ve konuşmamız bitti. Yakın zamanda görüşürüz dedi.
So, got any ideas to get those units together?
Investments.
You think I look like an investment type of guy?
You are a risk taker.
Evet, Growth'un
Exactly.
yeri.
I don't sit behind no desk all day hoping for real estate fluctuations. I go out and I do stuff.
We are somewhat alike. 3 cycles is not a lot of time to pay this fine, Peter Quill.
Şimdi ne yapacağız? Gidecek miyiz yoksa?
What if we contacted one of the assassin's disreputable sources?
What were you saying?
One of those informants is bound to be of value to Novikov.
You want to sell out one of Gamora's guys?
If they are murderers, then justice would be served, and we could negotiate an extension of our fine.
Huh.
Evet, sen
I
çalışsın.
wasn't so sure Gamora would stab you in your sleep just for suggesting it. I think it was a pretty solid plan.
Evet, maalesef hiçbir çalışmıyor.
Does it bother you that if we don't manage to get the money in time, this team is toast?
Get the coin Peter Quill promised. We shall not turn to roasted bread slices.
Yeah, well, no offense to Quill, but he ain't too good at keeping his promises. Yup, neither am I.
What is in that container on your work table?
Your mom's love letters.
My mother did not write love letters.
Evet, bizim keçimiz burada.
By hunting
En
large
son
game.
almıştık.
Ugh, now I'm hungry. So, how about a plant? So, a plan?
Peter Quill will propose.
Quill? He got us into this mess. He ain't got a plan.
You seem to have a low opinion of Peter Quill.
Why do you say that?
You do not trust him to solve our predicament. He has proven himself reliable.
Şimdi ne yapacağız?
Quarantine zone sector.
Look, I trust Quill with a lot of stuff, including my life sometimes, but he ain't always the smartest guy in the room.
Statistically, that statement is true of most people.
Bu sefer şey yapalım, atalım.
Are you a flarkin' idiot? Really? Nothing at all? All right. What'll it be this time? Confetti jet boots? N-O-P-E. Nope.
Hadi onu yükseltelim.
Got you covered. I doubt even you could break that. Yeah, I heard you.
Bakalım başka bir şey yükseltebilecek miyiz?
No. How about nah? No siree, Bob. I need a new boss. One who understands cost versus benefits. Can you count? I can't make that. I could really use a flarkin' drink right now.
Guys, don't forget to close the fridge.
Sure thing, Mom Lord. If you want to make it up to me, find a way to pay this flarkin' fine.
Peki şimdi ne yapacağım bu bölümde? Evet, bu sefer unitleri bulduk. Satmamız lazım. Ben şimdi maskara tutuyorum.
7 units?
37 tane unit var diyor. Yani ünite var diyor. 6963 tane üniteye ihtiyacımız var diyor.
We intend to keep our ship, Peter Quill.
I know. We
Ben biliyorum
clearly
tabii diyor.
need a plan.
Reconsider my
Yani
initial
ihtiyacımız var diyor.
Oh, no, not Fin Fang Foom again.
Yes, we should go after Fin Fang Foom.
Drax, there are easier ways to get paid. Like, what about selling Gamora's crap?
What?
Oh, come on, you've been hoarding them stupid knickknacks ever since you first joined us. I mean, don't tell me they ain't worth nothing.
Quarantine zone was always there.
Holding out on
My
us.
figurines are not knickknacks.
Team's in trouble, then you can't be bothered to make no
Hadi bak
sense.
konuşalım.
I will sacrifice your
Ruh konuşsun.
head.
Gelecek
Guys,
bakayım.
I think we should hear our group for once.
Evet, grup ne diyecekmiş bakalım bir. Groot diyor. Ben ağacım
He
diyor.
says we should
Kombi yaptı diyor.
combine both ideas.
Sell Gamora's trinkets to Fin Fang Foom. It was brilliant.
Yeah, you know, the only problem with your plan is that Lady Hellbender only buys
Senin sorun
monsters.
sadece problem
And
olması
you
diyor.
are not a monster.
Sen canavar değilsin diyor.
He's not. He's the sweetest, most...
Tatlı birisi diyor.
No, you don't. This ain't something you can pretend.
Hep aynı şeyi söylüyorsun diyor.
Oh, yeah? You want monster? I'll show you monster!
Whoa, guys!
Sen canavar değilsin diyor. Canavar istiyorsun diyor. Ben sana göstereceğim diyor.
Groot, are you really offering to...
No, he is not offering that, okay?
It could work.
Sell Groot? I guess we could bust him out after.
Absurd. Lady Hellbender seeks the monster within.
Yani canavarı görmek için birisi saklamamız lazım galiba.
He's cruel, sadistic, and his soul is filthy and filled with rage. Monster Queen would pay a great sum for such a creature.
Really? How great?
How are you okay with this?
Because I know what I am. And I know what he ain't.
I vote we sell Groot. I honestly think Lady Hellbender will go for it.
Yeah, well, I vote for not.
I also vote for the creepy little beast.
2 votes each. Peter?
Kimi seçmek istiyorsun? Hadi grup satalım.
Well, I think Groot's more convincing in the traditional monster sense. Groot, buddy, first of all, thank you. And second of all, I want you to know we're gonna bust you out of there right after, okay? Alright, let's do this. Let's go sell a monster.
Ve şimdi çıkıyoruz. Yani gemide çalışıp gidiyoruz oraya doğru.
We're not seriously flying into that.
You say the weather patterns of Seknarf 9 are
Şimdi
tied to
Seknarf
the temperament
9'mış.
of its ruler.
That's not how women work.
Or weather. Anyways, I'm sure it looks worse than it is.
Ve yağmurlu bir hava. Kesin düşeceğiz gibi.
There! That's Lady Hellbender's fortress.
Get us in close, Will. I don't want to walk in this.
Yep, no problem. Flying the wrong way.
Nah, he's not flying at all.
Guys, relax. Just one minor adjustment.
Piece of cake.
Barış geliyor.
You can't be serious.
What? This way we can
Sen
slow things
inanamıyorum
up
diyor.
before we finish the transaction.
We're like
Güzel bir
100
yolculuk ya.
clicks from her base.
You know how much I like scoping.
100 tane klikini ne yapacağız diyor. Onu söyle bakalım bir.
Next time, I'm flying.
Evet.
Sure the leafy one is ready for
Güncelleme geldi.
She'll be fine.
Bizim kendine gidiyor.
Don't you get all gloomy
Sana bir ses çıkıyorlar galiba.
Because you're constant complaining, Daz?
you are complaining about the short one complaining.
We're all complaining. Happy?
Hope that jacket of yours is waterproof. Are we going? Because I'm ready.
No, we should not go. We got it. It's different. Of course, it had to be raining. I hate wet.
Evet, ıslaktan, yağmurdan nefret ederim diyor.
They say that Seknarf 9 is inhospitable to soft-bodied beings. We shall see how you fare, Peter Quill. We accomplish nothing by the ship.
How about staying dry? That's an accomplishment.
Ve hadi gidelim bakalım.
Okay, here we go.
Ve kapıyı açık.
I ever mentioned how much I hate
Ve farklı bir gezegende ve iniyorsun aşağıya doğru. İlk roket iniyor aşağıya doğru.
It is an impregnable fortress.
So how do we impregnate it?
Ask Peter!
Kamera da var.
Let's just get closer. We'll figure it out on the way.
Çok ilginç ve her yer yağmur yağıyor ve
There is nothing to figure out.
farklı bir alandayız.
Once we purchase, we will easily gain access to Lady Hellbender.
Good. We've already got a beast. All that's
Ve şu an bir yere gidiyoruz tabi.
Good thing I put on my official merchant
Şu an radara bakıyoruz bakalım neler var. Ve kayıyoruz tabi. Eyvah düştük.
Hey, is my jacket all right?
Bulut
At
nerede?
least you got a jacket. Some of us are soaking here.
Less whining, more walking.
Hey, Stormlord. We ain't seen
Eyvah tekrar kayacağız.
through this. It'll take forever in this storm.
Stop complaining. The hardship will strengthen your spirit.
I face more than enough hardship. Thank you very much.
You are welcome, Feeble One.
Hadi buradan
And
zıplayalım.
thanks for the answer, Quill.
We got this. Just don't fall and we'll be fine.
Agreed.
O niye buradan zıpladı peki? Buradan
I would
gitmedi.
not expect a Chitauri trader to understand the underlying value of being direct, you child of subterfuge. Lady Hellbender scoffs upon duplicity and dishonor.
Can we refocus
Şundan
here?
uçan bir.
We're here to trick some lady, not kill each other.
Evet burada enerjimizi alalım. Çünkü bize lazım oyunlar.
And the Queen.
And stinking right.
Exactly. She's a stinking rich warrior queen
Buradan zıplayalım bakalım.
She won't be able to resist a good deal. Same as us.
Perhaps some of us.
Burası çok farklı bir alan.
If Lady Eighth is so powerful, why does she live on this scutball?
Seknov not.
Eyvah.
That was way
Yıldırım çarptı tabii.
Well played, Lady Hellbender.
So we're still doing this?
Gideceğimiz yer burası. Sol tarafta. Buradan zıplayalım.
These nasty mushrooms all
Buradan tekrar zıplayalım. Eyvah.
Keep an eye out on those big blue ones.
En güzel şuna gitmek.
good advice.
Bir dakika. Bu rüzgarla gitmek çok zor olacak. Nasıl gideriz?
Scouting, okay? I'll have you know my sense of direction is impeccable.
says the guy who landed on the wrong side of the planet. I can't believe it. Here I am, all wet in the rain, and Sunny Pants ain't even trying to go the right way.
If he is so determined to explore, perhaps you should support him. I support you, Peter Quill.
The only thing out of this larking rain. We need to keep moving
Bir
forward.
dakika rüzgar esmeden ben gitmem lazım.
Hit by lightning.
You ask too much of our leader. You know he cannot go.
Güzel. Fashion bayağı. Eyvah. Düşün bari. Buradan çıkayım. Yalnız bayağı bir tehlikeli olmaya başladı burası.
Jack is much more dangerous than I thought. Yeah, keep where it live.
I'm going back to the ship.
Şimdi gideyim bari hızlı. Güzel. Buradan zıplayayım.
Mark, not again.
Yalnız bayağı bir zorlaştırırsın. Eyvah. Aşağı indik. O kadar uğraştıktan sonra yere indik yine.
Is everyone okay?
Herkes iyiyim diyor.
We should have gone to Maku 4.
Hey, check out the old resistance ship. Thing's been shot to hell.
No doubt by this one and her Chitauri friends.
We weren't friends.
Guys,
Sana bir şey düştü galiba. Bakalım neymiş.
But it ain't moving now.
Would be wary, Rodent.
You know, when I survived freaking half-world, I think I'm scared of some little lie.
It's not alone. Get ready.
Eyvah. Çok daha bir savaş. Savaşalım şimdi.
These were sent by the Hellbender.
I think she's got better things to do.
Güzel.
You struggle in vain.
I was getting bored anyway.
I must reluctantly agree.
Hemen yapalım. Hadi Ruh sen de çarp. Ruh unutmasın.
Is only a distraction.
They keep moving around.
You must be quicker, assassin. The gelatin is satisfying to strike.
You should try stabbing them.
With pleasure.
Bunu hemen indirmem lazım.
What? I don't know.
Yalnız birkaç tane de geldi. Bir tane de
The jelly is charging. String them up.
Ruh sıkışılsın bari. Yeniden silahlanmış olur.
Commendable rodent.
The boys are tired because the monsters just got in
Güzel indi bir tanesi.
Exterminate them! Someone get rid of
Tekrar vuralım.
The other with fervor.
I got all these toys. I'm just done with you.
Bunlar bayağı bir güçlü. Yalnız hepsi güçlü bayağı. Hemen vuralım ikili. Özel hareketler.
How it's done.
Güzel.
Stay away from its sharp edges. Tear out their insides. Look with razor blades in the candy. I am not sure. I am. Nora, slice them up.
Cut to pieces. I was getting bored anyway.
I must reluctant.
Hadi bir bakalım neredesin?
That's a lot of pain for
Hemen indirelim bunu hızlı bir şekilde. Güzel. Sonunda bitirdik.
So that's what a monster around here looks like?
We are outside Lady Hellbender's sanctuary. The creatures here are not her pets.
You sort of do look like food.
Ve ileride şu an 36 metre gideceğiz
Where
yukarı
the
doğru.
fuck is she going?
Çok güzel nasıl da oluyor.
There's a trail going through the jungle. Try to find a way up.
Hadi dostlar çarp
I
bakalım.
ain't comfortable calling it a husk, seeing as we're about to climb it.
Clearly not a husk.
It is the hollowed husk.
Bu da nasıl zıpladı şimdi?
Peter, get moving. Drax is having an existential meltdown.
I ain't seen one of these fly swatters in years, working or otherwise.
It's not.
That's what they call them. Hey, Star Pets, see anything we can climb on?
Not really. Well, maybe if we cleared the gunk off the side. Let's
Evet,
go
burada bir
easy
şey var.
if we can. Keep in mind this whole thing helped win the war. When all fails,
Şimdi vuralım bakalım.
Words to live by.
Having fun?
didn't think I'd ever be shooting at a resistance ship.
You ever fly one of these things, Gamora?
No doubt she shot them down.
I fought the Shatari, same as you.
Drax, you can pull this reactor up gently,
Evet
right?
sen bize yardım et yanınıza.
The rodents would have shot it by now.
He makes an excellent point.
Buradan tepeye çıkarız en azından.
Ripping it apart.
Güzel.
No, I think we're good.
Anyone else hear something?
Great, we made it halfway up. Now what?
Maybe if we could lower that wing somehow.
What's a resistance ship doing
Evet,
all the
burada
way
da
out
var.
here anyway.
I'm going to get ahead. Try not to kill yourselves on the way up.
There they are.
Hey, Groot, can you come up with something?
Yeah, just let me do it.
Evet, bu sefer roket yapıyor bize yardım ediyor. Roketin sekans sayesinde tepeye çıkacağız.
That don't sound like no jelly thing.
Evet, böyle gideceğiz.
Lady Hellbender's call empty.
Yol burada gözüküyor.
That don't sound like the Lady Island.
Careful. Looks like something big moved through here.
Yay.
Herhangi bir düşman var mı şu an?
With claws the size of dragons.
Gözükmüyor.
Let me know.
I thought we already had our monster. What's she tracking this thing for?
Nothing wrong with a little sport. The girl has to keep busy.
We're looking for trouble.
Diğerleri nerede? Eyvah. Bizi
This is further proof that we're
tekrardan
not welcome here. If we turn back every time we ain't wanted, we never go anywhere.
Good point.
What are you firing at, Peter Quill?
Did you see a monster?
No, just trying to stay ready.
ne yapacağız şimdi?
The depressions are deep. This thing has got to weigh more than all of us put together.
Even with Groot?
You get us through here.
Sen et bakalım. En azından kesersin. Güzel. Evet, bizim yaptığımızı biz söylüyoruz o kişiye, o yapıyor. Bu oyunda öyle.
I am eager to experience Lady Hellbender's legendary menagerie.
Hemen şu aşağıdan geçelim.
Yeah, I bet you are.
What's the weirdest monster you guys have seen? We'll need to find a way out of this jungle.
Why? It's dry down here.
Should we ask them for directions?
I'm thinking maybe they are directions.
Seriously? Oh, like a signpost or something.
I'm not saying it's an arrow with the word fortress on it, but statues suggest civilization, and the only settlement I saw when we were topside.
It's Lady Hellbender's fortress.
Bakalım bizi nereye gidecek. Şurada bir kapı var.
Dead end. That's just great.
Wait, is that Shatari tech over there?
Ask the Chitara.
No, it is. It's a retractable bridge. They used them at the prison I was in.
Too bad the controls are on the other side of the giant chasm.
What do you not have time to dawdle in this jungle? I shall hurl the creature over the chasm so you may
Dur, bu sefer roket yapacak
I
galiba.
may activate a hole through your face. Put me down.
He'll be fine. Just curl up in a ball.
What?
Drax, throw him.
No.
Very well.
It's okay. He'll land on his feet. I guess that only applies to cats.
You sons of John. I'm busting out.
I am not familiar with these words.
Evet, roket bize yardım edecek bakalım. Attı onu yukarı doğru.
I'm really pissed.
You can run, you free-bagging farkle.
At least he's not shooting at us. He missed on purpose, right?
Order the beast to do its job.
Rocket, come on, man.
Ram it, ass face.
Fix the bridge and we'll raise your cut by 5%.
Evet, sinirlendi bizi ateş
I
açtı.
want 10.
Okay, deal. Take it out of Groot's cut. He doesn't understand money anyway.
Çok iyi köprü yaptı bize. İlk başta sinirlenmişti. Ve ilerliyor şimdi.
Thanks for the bridge, Rocket.
If you even think.
Myself, people.
Eyvah, düşmanlar geldi.
Everyone get ready.
Nice to meet you!
Hemen bunu vuralım hızlı bir şekilde.
Notice this place is like a graveyard?
Fitting that it shall be littered.
Bunlar bayağı güçlü.
Now is the time to strike.
Let's make him feel it.
Hemen vuralım.
Like a hot knife! Look out!
Let's see those branches.
Hadi bakalım şey yap. 4'e geçin. Roket yardım etsin bize. Bakalım başka yardım edecek var mı? Ya bunlar bayağı güçlü.
No, you don't let him grab you! You prove unworthy! No fair! Make it fly! Move away, Rocket!
Roket bomba atıyor baba. Hepsini bitirdi.
Ready!
Hadi sen de sıra.
Max! Let us finish this! Yes! I am enjoying myself! Oh, you're like flying pigs! Be glad you're not me! Branch out, you! I will face all of Lady Hellbender's needs!
Hadi roket sen at bakalım. Çok iyi.
Inferior creatures. I yearn to be
Evet hepsini yendik. Tabi bunu olmasa ben yenemeyeceğim. Bayağı güçlü çünkü.
Yeah, I'm feeling all turned around as well. Where the fuck are we?
Just look around. We're down here somewhere.
So sure this is the way.
The statues here didn't walk into place. They were carried.
Carried? By whom? For what purpose? I thought you were supposed to be the Lady Hellbender expert.
Hadi roket sen bakalım.
Rocket, can you squeeze in and check if the trail continues that way?
How much you paying?
Ne kadar
50
öncesinde.
units? Easiest money I ever made.
He doesn't have 50 units. And you don't get through.
Hadi sen
Alright,
bakalım.
Nora, pretty sure it's this way.
Evet, her şey Gomal yapıyor.
No way are we almost there. Still got like a planet to walk across.
Şu tepeye çıkalım.
Lady Hellbender could cross this jungle in 7 strides.
Sure she could.
Or she would have flown over the mountains.
Drag some of your Lady Hellbender tidbit.
Hadi Gamora
Come
sen
on, mind telling us a
kesersin.
Say that Lady Hellbender
Aferin sana.
every time you cut a piece of her jungle.
Gideceğimize 46 metre kaldı.
An old Nova bomber. I haven't seen one of these since the war. I remember it used to take a dozen ships
Burası
to bring
neresi
them
böyle
down.
ya?
Dozen
Çok ilginç.
ships.
Ve çok
Or
uzakta
one
baya.
Chitauri infiltrator.
I'll take that one as a compliment.
Still no sign of the fortress?
No. Are we even sure this is the right way?
Now what's the holdup?
Here. No. Just thinking someone else gets lost in that pit first. Me, root of the merchandise.
Only one of you is the merchant. Just go.
No, you just go.
Go.
Don't leaders usually cross first?
Not if it's dangerous.
Tehlikeli
Because I
diyor.
need to cover everyone.
Right.
See, it's fine. Perfectly safe.
Fine.
Do not even think of pushing the assassin.
There are so many better ways to kill someone.
Evet şimdi hepsi teker teker diyor.
Easy does it.
Canavar çıktı.
Groot says there's something down there.
It doesn't matter.
Of course it matters.
It's unstable either way. Just move.
Eyvah.
Saw the giant
Yine düştük. Önceki bir bölüm vardı. Onunla bayağı uğraşmış, ona benziyor. Bu sefer yine tekrar geçmeye çalışacağım.
saw the giant
Evet, bu sefer erken bastım. O kırmızı yuvarlak halka olunca basacağım. Ben tekrar deneyim. Güzel. Bu sefer bastım. sefer kız bizi kurtardı.
Nice catch.
You're welcome. Don't get used to it.
Peter Quill!
Evet yine tekrar bu canavar açtı. Az önce olduğu gibi.
I got it.
Ben alırım bu sefer diyor. Yalnız yukarıda da var.
Guys, anyone know what that is?
Bunu bilen var mı diyor.
A monster! Ah!
Evet ne zaman yaptığın zaman diyor. Ateş açmam lazım diyor. Anladım.
I'm on it!
Dur sen kaldın. Güzel. Bunu yakalamam kolay olacak. Güzel.
Your corpse will feed the very creatures you prey upon!
If we haven't killed them all already!
Hadi sende sıra. Az kaldı canın gitmesine. Sen de roket. Bu sefer sen değil ha. İki galiba. Evet, yolu yakalayırsın. Evet, kolayca aldık.
Cowardly beast!
Evet, canavar kaçtı.
Aw, Stumpy's running away.
That its tail between its legs.
Bacaksız şekilde koşu diyor.
Finish the job.
Anyone ever tell you you're scary?
Yes.
I mean, there's obviously a way out up there, which is exactly what we need.
Şu karşıda bir şey var.
Eyes on where we need to
Köprü
go.
gibi bir şey. Sanki biz ateş açmamız galiba.
Yeah, okay. How do we do that?
Good question.
Gotta say, I got some sick-ass men seeing this thing buried in the ground.
Perhaps your magical mask can relieve us of this senseless searching, Peter Quill.
Will you stop calling it that?
This wreck still runs without
Long time since the war. This place is all kind of white.
Feels like yesterday. And all the work ways.
I'm starting to wonder if I should be the one with the fancy visor.
I wouldn't trust a thing you said.
We agree for once. I too would prefer Peter Quill's incompetence to the rodent's lies.
This thing has been picked clean for salvage.
This planet is no place for carrion.
He's got a point. It's hard enough to land here, let alone scour the surface for scrap.
If that bomber's full of old dead Nova, maybe we should, like in their pockets.
By now, You'd be lucky to find a finger, let alone an intact body. That one? I taught myself. First a down resistance ship, now a Nova Corps one.
2 out of 3 on Galactic War bingo.
We did with this round for the push against the Shatari.
The reactor thing there is pretty little.
If you want to shoot that thing down, you're gonna need a better angle.
She is right. The shooting is terrible.
But shooting is not terrible.
Why is your target?
We need a better angle, apparently.
Bakalım başka ne var?
Guys! Still out there. Are we gonna
Damaged reactor will make a bold weapon against that creature.
Well,
No explosions, Rocket.
boring. What do you think made this place worth fighting over?
That's a pretty big reactor unit up there. It's only hanging on by a thread. I wonder if we can pop it loose.
Burada bir şey var.
At this rate, by the time we get there, Hellbender will have moved on to Monster Clay. Ain't gonna work, Quill. Things all gunked up at the very top there.
Mora, you know your ships. What about that loose unit up there?
It's covered in fungus. We probably could knock it off, but not from down here. Also, I'm not the one with the gun.
Screw, buddy. You're stretchy. Think you can reach up there and pop that unit out for us?
Whoa! Watch your fucking language, man! A simple no would have done it.
Sen yapacaksın. Merak ettim.
Think any bodies are still in there? All nullified and stuff.
Evet, en son yapabilir.
Okay, Drax. Try to jump real high
Drax
and grab
yapabilir.
onto the reactor. Maybe your weight will bring it down.
If Lady Hellbender's winds have not torn that reactor free by now, my strength will accomplish nothing.
Rocket, I want your input on this. How do we reach the reactor thing up on the wing?
I'm half your height, Quill. What am I gonna do?
Hiçbir şey yapmadı.
Back up. I'm getting used to it.
At the right rear, maybe?
Maybe this Hell Lady is some old war hero and she can get Nova off our backs.
I wouldn't bring up the war.
How come?
Those of us who took part are not eager to relive its memories.
That.
En son burada kalmıştık arkadaşlar. Bu bölümü geçememişim ama nasıl
Maybe
geçeceğimi
this Hell Lady
anladım.
is some old war hero and
Ve
she can
tekrardan
get Nova
çekeceğim
off
bu
our
videoyu.
backs.
Perhaps your magical mask can relieve
Evet,
us of this
bizim
senseless searching.
bir yer alamadı burası, ateş attığımız yer. İçeride mekanizma var.
I wouldn't
Bir
trust
bu var,
you
bir de
said.
şu yukarıda var, sol tarafta.
Two would prefer Peter Quill's incompetence to the rodent's lies.
Bir tarayalım bakalım bir. Burada
Gotta
ne var?
say, I get some sick satisfaction from seeing this thing.
Hemen ateş açalım.
Hey, what? Mind you, the old girl is stand?
I agree. Maybe part of the ship's still functional.
This rate, by the time we get there, Hellbender will have moved on from Monster Clay.
Bu sefer yapacağım.
Obviously, things start happening. It's just saying, it shouldn't take this long.
Olmadı.
I am being constructive. This is how I motivate.
Well, it's clearly working.
Böyle yapayım bir dakika.
You think any bodies are still in there? All mummified and stuff?
If they are in there, they should be mummified. The environment's too damp.
There you go, bud. So maybe they are mummified.
Evet, her şey oldu. Ve tekrardan içe giriyoruz. İlk roket girsin önden. Ve mekanik çalışmamız var. Tekrardan bakalım. Bizim 260'a 130 puanımız var bakalım.
All right. Just better not
Hepsi
get
seçecek
jumped
mi?
by any monsters.
Evet, bunlar bizim yaptığımız maviler. Buna yapmadıklarımız maalesef yetmiyor. Biraz daha bitirmemiz lazım. Bu da yetmiyor. Bunlar bayağı yüksek. Şu anlık kalsın. Biraz da bittikten sonra alacağım onları.
Waiting for you so that we can scale this contraption.
Ve V'ye basalım.
Right.
V'den çıkalım şimdi.
Laura, how high up this
Hadi kamera çıksın.
Let's find out.
Are you relishing this moment, assassin?
What moment?
Visiting the grave of your enemies.
Nova Corps weren't my enemies,
Şuradan
Travis.
açacağım.
They were my father's enemies.
Güzel. Hadi çıkar biz yukarı.
Anything useful up there?
Yukarıda bir şey var mı? Yok.
I got eyes on this gunked up reactor. A couple of shots should bring it down.
Evet. Bunu indirmem lazım. Yapışmış çünkü.
Right.
Güzel.
Things are taking upwards. Somehow.
Evet. Makinemiz indi şu an. Aşağı inelim.
It's a reactor.
Bakalım bu çalışıyor mu? Herhangi bir şey gözükmüyor. Şu yukarıda bir şey vardı.
At the rate we're moving,
Bunu kim halleder?
Looks like a few cables are all that's standing between the wing and a makeshift bridge.
we need something to get up to those cables, Peter. Do you see anything on the wreck?
Hayır, bizim adamımız getirsin.
Tracks. Moving that thing around ain't a problem.
Yukarıda
right?
şu tam hizaya denk gelsin.
Right there's good.
Güzel.
It's taking so long.
Hadi adamım sen taşısın. Güçlüsün.
This
Helal be.
unit is tremendously heavy.
Kendi cüssesinden fazla taşıyor. Bravo sana.
What next, Peter Quill?
Şanslardaki ne diyor? Tahminen bir şey halleder.
I wonder about that wing cable.
Yukarı çıkıp kesebilir misin diyor.
Use the
Tam
reactor to
oraya
get
diyor.
up the ship.
Not when it's over there.
Brute, any suggestions?
Clearly ain't compatible.
Bir dakika ben şey yapacağım.
Place worth fighting over.
busted reactor unit rocket.
Oh yeah, tons of stuff. Just not moving. I'm surprised this thing hasn't been picked clean for salvage.
This planet is no place for carrion.
Bir dakika. Şu game bitti mi acaba?
You look real good right here.
Done.
Buraya taşırıyor.
I have merely followed our leader's directions.
Kamera'nın kesmesi lazım. Niye kesmedi lan? Yani şimdi tepeden çıkacağım buraya.
First a down resistance ship, now a Nova Corps one.
We're 2 out of 3 on Galactic War bingo.
Maybe this was a staging ground.
Tekrar taşı bakalım buraya. Gamara'nı kesmesi lazım. Sen niye kesmiyorsun Gamara? Burada bir şey yanlış mı yaptım acaba? Allah Allah. Tepeye ben çıksam ben çıkacağım da çıkamadım.
Like yesterday.
Bu bölümü yeniden atacağım tekrardan. Maalesef. Bu sefer tekrar deniyorum. Hadi bakalım.
Gamora, can you use the reactor to get up the ship?
Not when it's over there.
Can you get up there now?
Güzel, yukarı doğru çıkacakmışız. Hadi kes bakalım.
Brings back memories.
Evet, şükür kesti.
That was easy. Great teamwork, everyone.
Evet, şükür açıldı burası.
I helped in spirit.
Oh, right. Slippery wind pummel treetops, here we come.
You know, I really admire our team's commitment to safety.
Hadi yukarı doğru çıkalım.
We are not committed to safety.
What? We're safe.
Yani tepeye doğru çıkıyoruz.
One thing is clear.
Gurur bizi geçti. Çok ilginç.
This task without the assassin.
Did Drax just praise Gamora?
I am giving credit where
Evet,
credit.
şükür buraya geldik. Önceki bölümdeki olan yere.
It's gotten bigger, that's for sure.
Şu sol ileride bir şey var, onu alalım.
What's Captain
Bize
Distraction
lazım
up to
olacak şey.
now?
Ve gideceğimiz yer gözü.
He calls us over.
Kupe orada.
Whoa, whoa,
Ya kupe dedim, gideceğimiz yer o anlamda. Kupe demeyin de düşmanın yaşadığı yer olsun.
Let's all stick our fingers in it.
Looks like there's a way down here.
Quill, you gotta see this.
Sonra aşağı gideceğiz galiba
Behold
mevcuttan
Lady
kal.
Hellbender's wrath.
Ve inelim aşağıya doğru.
Okay, here we go.
Eyvah, balçağa takıldık galiba.
Blimey.
Ve
Guys,
hareket edemiyoruz.
you might want to wait to come down here.
Aşağı ineyim diyecektim ama hepsi indi.
Oh, why the flark is it so deep?
In a jam, boys?
Evet, Gamara kurtuldu, biz atladık öyle.
Smack. Reach.
Bize bir şey ulaşama ip bulmamız lazım diyor.
Yeah, get fast.
Where am I supposed to find a
I
road?
don't know, I'm sinking in chilly here.
Quill, do something.
Evet, roket içine batıyor.
What?
Clark.
Eyvah. İçeri batıyorsun. Bizim adam bir şey yapmaya çalışıyor, bakalım ne yapacak. Evet, silah çıkarttı. Ve mutasyon oluyor galiba. Eyvah, grup öldü. Bakalım oldu, ne yapacağız? Tekrardan başlayalım oraya.
Slimy.
Evet, senin için düşük aslında.
Guys! You might want to wait to come down here. Oh, why the flark is it so deep?
In a jam, boys?
You think?
Biz neden batıyoruz diyor.
Schmack, reach!
The sword will not work, woman. Find us a rope. Yeah, and fast.
Where am I supposed to find a
I
rope?
don't know. I'm sinking in jelly here. Well, do something.
Bir şey yapın diyor.
What?
Flark!
Yolu da çıkamıyor. Güç adam çıkamıyor. Roket de gidiyor.
Well,
Eyvah. Orada ne yapacağız tam anlamadım. Şimdi bakalım, tekrar deneyeceğim. Oradan çıkmam lazım.
oh, slimy. Guys! You might want to wait to come down here. Oh, why the flark is it so deep?
In a jam, boys?
You think?
Schmack,
Şimdi 4 tane tuşa basıyor. Yukarı, aşağı, sol, sağa. Bir de mouse'a basıyor. Bakalım deneyeceğim
where am I
şimdi.
supposed to find a
I
rope?
don't know. I'm sinking in jelly here. Well, do something. Like what?
Flark!
Quill.
Şimdi başlıyoruz. Bu sefer yapacağım. Çünkü az bir saniye için yapmam lazım. Şimdi başlıyoruz. Eyvah. Mouse yaptım da o şey yapamadım bir türlü. Şimdi başlıyoruz bu sefer. Yapacağım. Mouse yaptım da klavye bir türlü yapamadım ya. Bu sefer yapacağım. Aynı anda basmam lazım şu tuşa.
Quill.
Evet, şimdi başlıyoruz. Niye olmadı ya? Allah Allah. Evet, bu sefer başardım. Hey şükür. Biraz zorlama olsun. Önceki video çektim bu sefer. Denedim birkaç defa. Evet, orada kaldı, hiç olmadı. Şimdi çok kızgınlaştı. Ve hele şükür kurtulduk buradan. Sana bir şey oluyor yine. Çok ilk silahımız değişti. Ne oldu diyor. Bilmiyorum, onlar değişti diye. Ben hiç böyle bir şey olmamıştı, yaşamadım diyor. Benim için sürpriz oldu diyor.
Just when you think you see it all. Just leave the guns alone.
Dokunma diye.
Well, I just
Silahda.
want to see how they tick. Otherwise, it might as well be mad.
Ne oldu bak bana, misal. Bir şey oldu diyor. Eyvah, şimdi
Here we go again.
düşman geliyor galiba. Güzel, senin dostlarımız geldi. Evet, element için diyor, ilk başta diyor, burada gösteriyor, ateş at diyor. Ondan sonra diyor, saldığı zaman da element düşürüyor. Sonra parçalayabilirsin diyor. Oyunumuza devam edebiliriz.
We're so happy for you and your guns, Will.
Güzel. Hemen groove yapsın. Nerede? Ha.
She can't hear you, Snow.
Güzel groove, sen yap şimdi.
This place is a death pit!
Şimdi şeyde, rokette. Güzel, gamara yaptı. Şimdi sıra şeyde, adamın da güzel bir tanesi gitti. Hadi groove, sen nasıl? Hadi roket sende bu sefer. Roketin bombası çok işe yarıyor. Hadi gamara, sıra sende.
It's gooey outside, keeps reseparating. Dark, pointy death coming your way.
Eyvah.
Will, watch it.
Hadi dostum, tutarız onu. Hızlı bir şekilde vurun. Ya. Yalnız bunlar bayağı güçlü. Hadi bir tut bakalım ve
Root says these things are a pain to tie down.
bu sefer biraz zordu ama
We're
geçti
gonna
yine.
need to get up there.
Thinking we can climb up and over.
Ding, ding, ding. Give that man a gold star.
Let's figure out how to make it
Bu neymiş
climb.
bakalım bir.
Barely any power. Maybe we can muscle those cannons out.
It would give us the steps to climb. Worth a shot.
Bir tarayalım bakalım bir neymiş.
Wonder if we can get anything to pop out of the side of that wreck.
If I never see another one of these ships again, it'll be too.
Bizim yukarı çıkmamızı
On that
istiyor.
alone, we are agreed.
Will, that sucker's got any cannons we can use.
Bir dakika, ne yaparız? Başka ne var yukarıda? 43 metre yukarıdaymış. Ve burada ne yaparız şimdi? Hemen bir bakalım bir. Bir tarayalım tekrardan. Bunu çıkarmamız lazım.
Drax, think you can drag this cannon
Evet,
out?
direkt sıra sende.
I will try.
Değineceğim diyor.
It is more stubborn than expected.
Come on, Will. Let me get a look at them guns.
Impossible. It will
Ama
not stay
siz
in
çok
place.
güçlü diyor. Hadi dene tekrardan.
Hold it.
Drax, can you try again?
Tekrar deneyim misin diyor.
It does not stay.
Niçin?
I'm working it out. Trust me.
Impressive.
Güzel.
Now we gotta get the next one out.
Keşke buz attık. Güzel. Şu dereye gideceğiz. Hadi bakalım roket sen nasıl?
Rocket, I need you to squeeze inside that little hole and try to knock the gun loose from the inside.
Hello, Atari ship full of booby traps and death mechanisms.
But you love both those things.
İçeri giriyorum tabii diyor.
You're right, I do. And I
Her
always
zaman benim istediğim şey diyor.
inside of one of these
Hani içeri giriyorum diyor. Bir şeyse patlatacağım diyor.
Oh, what reads in here?
Burası çok iğrenç diyor.
Oh, Scott. Ah,
Soracağımlar var diyor.
You okay in there, Rocket?
Rocket sen iyi misin
I
diyor.
found the crow.
İnanamadı her yer solucan yemiş diyor.
Atari meat.
Rocket.
Relax.
Rahat ol diyor. Küçük bir işim kaldı diyor. Bir şey patlatıyorum diyor.
You know what? Block it. I'm blowing it up.
What? Hang on.
Neyi patlatacaksın diyor bombayı.
Okay, go! You must have jump-started the thing.
Güzel. Hemen çıkalım yukarı. Hemen tepeye çıkalım.
It's dry now too.
Ve Gumarov sende.
Nora, can you clear us a path through that junk?
Sen biliyorsun kesme işi sende.
Yes, Peter Quill. Onward to the palace of the great giantess.
Oh, so she's a giantess now.
Oh man, another murder tentacle.
Careful. It might be plain dead.
Oo, büyük canavar çıktı.
Happy monster.
Mutlu olmadı canavar diyor.
Back to its brood
Bir tane
mother,
bile kaçtı.
Lady Hellbender.
Come on, why is the bridge always on the wrong side?
I could
Flash
throw.
me again, and I hate these cliffs green.
Okay, okay. No throwing and no shooting. There's got to be another way across. So just look around.
Şimdi ne yaparız burada?
Lady Hellbender.
Let me guess. She would have laid over the ravine and let us walk across on her back.
I was going to explain that she would have thrown the woodland creature without hesitation. But your speculation is also conceivable.
Bir bakayım yukarı çık şuradan. Çıkabiliyor muyum? Şu karşıda bir şey var mı?
Cross it. Maybe we can go around it.
Looking for cracks, caves, or crevices, people.
I feel like I've heard you say that before, but in a different context.
Burada şu an herhangi bir şey yok. Şu tekrar geri gidelim.
Will's ice cube
Güzel.
machines?
They are versatile.
Maybe, but my sweet death cannon still got 17,000 different murder configurations.
Şimdi etrafa bakalım.
Yeah, just the name.
Evet burada bir şey var. Neymiş? İyi atış atabiliriz buna. Güzel bir yer açıldı. Hemen buraya doğru gidelim.
Guys, I've got something here.
Evet bir şey buldum dedik dedi. Aa güzel bir şey bulduk. Enerji bulduk.
Little room to maneuver if something should attack.
Çok iyi. 260-220 puan birikti.
Anybody see a way through?
We'll make one if we have to.
Buradan zıplayalım.
Anybody else smell that? It
Çok
really
kötü kokuyor
stinks
orası
back
diyor.
here.
Yes, it smells
Oh, what the fuck? Ugh,
Bu ne biçim iğrenç diyor.
not even breathing.
Coming from that wall here. There's gotta be something behind.
I sure hope that Buckless Beast is running back to Mommy's telling us. Could have aimed for its head more.
At least I shouldn't have ended.
Hey, that thing is like seriously bruised. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if it just keeled over and died somewhere in the jungle after all that damage I caused.
You think it died of excessive bruising?
I bruised.
Yep, definitely something gross behind
Evet.
here.
Bir şey bulduk burada.
Drax, can you chuck that through the stink wall?
Evet şu duvarı yıkabilir misin de duvarda? Güzel duvar yıktı. Ve bayağı bir şey gözüküyor burası. Sapsarı. İğrenç bir şey. Evet bu bölümü az önce durdurdum. Devam edelim bakalım. Şu iğrenç yerden geçiyoruz.
I am clenching every orifice right now.
Okay, that's kind
Ve şu an geniş bir alandayız.
Hello? Anybody?
Kimse var mı burada diyor. Evet, tamam buradayım sanki.
Okay, that got my
Look,
Canavar seni diyor.
why would Lady Hellbender cage this creature?
Because it's annoying as stud.
Perhaps it is food.
That thing's food?
Yes, monster food.
Yani canavar yiyecek.
Peter,
Why would it taste like
I
that?
can use this.
You know, we really gotta work on your taste
The
buds.
cage.
Get it?
We need the cage.
Taste.
We go into that fortress with our monster peacefully walking beside us. We'll be laughed right out of the room.
Bites?
Why are you
You're
whispering?
petting it? Rude! Don't pet the tentacle
The
thing!
more thinks we can sell our monster out better for a
It's
proper
covered in
cage.
teeth is why.
Only problem is there's a pissed off monster inside.
That thing's got bigger
Release
ones
the
than
beast.
mine.
Let me dispose of it.
Because that worked so well for you last time.
We need a better plan of attack.
Yes.
Evet, bizim bir ihtiyacımız var diyor. Plan atar diyor.
Guarantees my safety as well.
Ateşi diyor. Evet, yaşlı Groot açtı kapıyı. Ve aynı canavar tekrar çıktı.
Stumpy's back!
Harika bir sayı ikisi oldu. Hadi saldır bakalım. Güzel saldır yapalım. En azından bu saldırısı olsun. Evet, Zaki saldır bakalım. Güzel. Hadi Gamara sende. Hadi bro sen de bu sefer. Bunu indirmemiz lazım. İndireceğiz birazdan şimdi biter. Eyvah. Hadi. Roket sıra sende. Hadi şeyi. Güzel. Hadi Groot sende. Yalnız bayağı güçlü bu. Hemen senle bakalım. Roket. Hadi bakalım. Koca adam. Hadi Groot sen de bu sefer. Hadi bakalım. Ve en son Gamar'a bitti.
You are coming with me.
Ve kapı açıldı. Kapıyı gizlenmişti. Evet onu da aldık. Şimdi ne doyacağız?
Sneaky crawl spaces, and now all these monsters. I hate this farting planet.
Everything, Rocket.
True, but especially the stinky slime tunnel part.
Hey, I just went through the same crap you did and I smell amazing.
Ah, sure
Ne
you
yapalım
do.
diyor.
It's my sexy hero Musk.
Bir tarayalım bakalım ne var.
Groot says we should check things out over here.
Hadi aşağı inelim. Bunu alalım. Burada aşağı inme şansımız var mı? Yok. Tekrar yukarı çıkma var mı? Yok.
Monster. It will be shrink as well.
Evet karşıda bir şey var. Ona bakalım.
Inside to amount the twitching
Güzel. Hadi Groot sıra sende.
Groot, give me a bridge here.
Bize kötü yapabilir misin
On the
diyor.
other side of those cliffs.
Güzel. Ben Groot'um diyor. Evet, buz atış yap diyor. Çok iyi. Buz dondu şu an. Bayana şanslıyız.
Nope. Man, you're such a gas
Hadi Gamara sıra sende.
So if we're gonna
Kesersin.
haggle with the monster queen, how much are we asking for our monster?
Güzel.
What do you mean? We're running a business here.
We need to make a profit this
Hemen
time.
çıkalım.
Hey, well,
Dubunca çıkalım yukarı
what we
doğru.
talked about earlier. Hey, it's nothing.
Don't worry, Rocket.
Evet, bunu da alalım. Çok
So
iyi
who's
300.
next in line for the throne if Lady Hellbender has
Yaz bitti. Şu an çalmayacağım.
Perhaps she is immortal.
Nobody's immortal, not even death herself.
Güncelleme yapmayacağım. Ve bizim
Whoa,
ülkemizler
that is
gözüktü.
definitely in my top 10 fortresses.
Bayağı bir yakınlaştık aslında. Evet. Canavar tekrar gözüktü. Bu kartındaki canavara benzemiyor mu diyor. Evet diyor.
So we wasted our time. Almost got killed for nothing.
And got arrested.
That was fun.
It was moderately amusing.
Now we've got a ticking time bomb on the ship.
Guys, every misstep was just a step in the right direction towards completing our best plan yet.
Say that again?
What if we brought one of those ugly suckers all the way here only to find out Lady H already had a full set?
That would have sucked
Yeah.
big time.
Exactly. If we even got that far. What if we've been towing that thing when Nova Corps
Hadi şuradan geçelim.
They would have taken up.
Let's just get this done.
Ve köprüye geldik.
You can't be serious.
İnanamıyorum diyor.
Okay.
Ciddi misin diyor.
It's farther than it looked. Much farther.
Çekip bakacağız diyor.
Infinity Bridge is what it is.
Are you being dramatic, Rodent? Bridge ends at the fortress, therefore it is not.
Yeah, that's super comforting. Guess we gotta go. 3 cycles.
Hadi gidip bakalım.
Aren't you forgetting something?
Dur diyor.
Oh, right. The cage.
Wouldn't even get before continues looking like we mean business.
Groot, you ready to squeeze in?
Evet, Groot'u şey yapıyorsa.
There's still time to reconsider. The tree creature, it's not very monstrous.
Maybe we're going about this the wrong way. Rock's the best escape artist I know. If things go south after the transaction,
We're making the right choice.
What? We voted on this.
I don't feel right putting Groot in the cage.
That's because it ain't right.
Peter.
She'll go for it.
I think he's made his point.
Hadi rokete gidelim bu sefer.
Drat. Gamora, can you help me with
No.
this? What? Why?
To guarantee your safety as a mariner.
Come on.
She's got you there, Quill. Now shut up and start pulling.
Will you stop worrying so much? You're gonna start growing knots again.
Okay, here we go.
Evet.
Okay, whoa.
Canavar da var.
It seems so peaceful here.
Never saw it real well when I was a kid. Guess this sort of counts.
I'm sure it's real pretty, but can we not draw its attention while I'm stuck in a fucking cage, please?
Bakalım başımıza bir şey gelmezse biliyorsun öyle.
Does anybody have like a campfire song or something we can sing to kill the time?
Az kaldı gelmemize.
I know one. It's called.
Stop.
Right, yeah. Okay. Wait, is Please Stop the name of your song?
No.
Okay. So, how long before someone else wants to pull this thing?
You're 60 clicks from the fortress.
I'd say closer to 75.
Well, there is only one way to know for sure. 0.1 clicks. 0.2 clicks.
0.9, 2.1,
0.3 clicks.
4.5,
0.4 clicks. 0.5 clicks. 0.6 clicks.
Bakalım başımıza bir şey gelmezse.
Stop counting clicks.
Galiba sen bize bir şey olacak galiba. Çünkü sesler değişmeye başladı.
Star-Lord. This is the guy with the scary eyes. You don't hurry, I'm gonna eat that whole cake myself.
Evet, annesi hatırladı galiba. Geçmiş hatırladı. Ve
In whole years. Look at you. Where does time go?
I'll be up in a sec, I promise. Right.
evet, tekrar eski halimize geri döndük. Bakalım bir şey bulacak mıyız tekrardan. Burada bir şey yok. Biz yine tekrar eski halimize geri döndük. Onlar gibi. Neyse, kısa
Need to
çalalım.
build up my calluses.
Ve hayır, kapı açılır bu sefer. Normalde açılırken başka bir boyuta geçmiştik.
Mom says Grandpa used to play this a lot when she was a kid, but it's been busted ever since I can remember. Auntie says you can get a brain parasite if you share a toothbrush.
Evet, diş bıçağı
Imagine
bulunuyor.
that. Something growing inside of you, slowly taking over.
Evet, buzdolabının kapısı açık. Kapatalım. Sanırım galiba yukarı çıkacağız.
Oh man, this is gonna be so cool.
Çok muhteşem diyor. Herhangi bir şey var mı? Yok. Evet, mecbur yukarı doğru çıkacağız, öyle gözüküyor. Odamız buradaydı, alt katta. Ve tabii annemiz burada.
Well, look who decided to finally come up.
Where's my cake?
I warned you.
You didn't.
I'm so full.
Mom.
Okay, sit your butt down.
Yapmadım diyor ama burada diyor.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna sing.
I like your singing.
Well, you might be the only one. Go on, make a wish. You're officially a teenager. Look at all those girlfriends. Someone's gonna be really popular at school.
Mom.
What? You are very handsome. I'm sure all the girls are gonna be falling off.
Mom.
What did you wish for?
Why would I wish for anything? I've got everything I want.
Hep şey dedim ki her şeyi istiyorum.
Uh-oh. What huge favor are you about to ask me?
Just $10. Dan, Andy, and I want to go see Night of the Cosmos at the Rio tonight.
A movie? Tonight?
Come on. It's gonna be sick. It's about these zombies that invade Earth, and then it's up to these kids that have to blow them away.
I don't think I want you to see that, Peter. I let you watch the hockey mask one and you were sleeping in my bed the next 3 nights.
Bunu seçelim.
That was ages ago, and this one isn't even that bad. It's PG-13, and I'm 13.
Exactly, PG-13 may contain violence and nudity.
Mild nudity, like butts and stuff.
You're not helping your case. No, I wanted us to have some us time tonight, you know? Maybe finish our game. You can't duck out right when I'm about to win.
We can still do all that stuff.
Bunu seçeceğim sana.
Or some of it. Tomorrow. You're always telling me to get out of the house more.
A movie movie theater does not count as out of the house, and you know it.
Pretty please?
I don't know. Truck's still in the shop, and I don't want you walking alone in the dark. There's been a lot of weirdos out there. It's not safe.
I'll be careful, Mom. I always am.
Were you careful when you got that black eye?
I told you I
I
was...
know! You were standing up for someone, which is a good thing. But you cannot go punching your way out of every problem, Peter.
I couldn't just stand there.
No. Of course not. Okay, get me my purse. Not so fast. Before you go, there's something I want to talk to you about, something I want to give you.
$20.
Don't push it. Think of it as a long overdue gift from your father. It's upstairs on my bed. Go on and get it while I finish up in the kitchen. And we can open it together.
The cake looks super professional. You sure you didn't buy it?
Save the flattery, Peter. Leave that alone. I love it. And look, it even has your little handprint on it.
Şimdi çıkacağız galiba dışarı.
Don't you dare touch that dial.
Ona dokunma diyor. Burada ne var?
Shoot!
Şurada var.
Mom told me to put the laundry away 2 days ago. I'll do it first thing in the morning. Scout's honor. Hand still stings from catching Mom's fastball. Wonder if she got me a new glove for my birthday. My pants didn't do much better than my eye in that fight. Hey Kubrick, buddy. No matter how long you wait here for Grandma and Grandpa, they're not coming back. Sorry.
Bakalım sağlam bir şey var mı?
Mom's pretty close to winning this game. Little guy put up a big fight. Wouldn't have been able to land him without Grandpa's tricks.
İlginç, jacuzzi'de şey de var. Evet, yatak odası burası. Bakalım neler var. Resme bakalım.
Man, am I glad I finally got my hair the way I like it. Sometimes Grandma and Grandpa would let me sleep with them if I was too afraid down in the basement.
Burada bir şey var mı? Hediye almış, ona bakalım bir.
At last!
Ve tekrar geliyoruz.
We have arrived at the Master King's fortress.
Evet, 3. bölüm bitirdik. Şu an 4. bölümdeyiz. Canlar karıştı.
So, as I was saying, I can handle a little solo extraction.
No offense, but you ain't exactly invested in my safe return. My skin, my plan.
Your call.
Arkadaşlar izlediğiniz için teşekkür ederim. Görüşmek üzere. Kendinize iyi bakın. Hoşça kalın.